You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hello?
Hey, Matt Becker.
Hello, Ggreg Chaille. How are you, sir?
Good. Everything sounds good over there.
Good.
You've been waiting.
Yeah, I know. I'm just reading about Harriet Tubman.
Oh, who wrote that today? I saw someone, I think it was Bernie Sanders, Facebooked or tweeted something about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to put her on the $20 bill.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What happens with Andrew Jackson?
He stays on the 10. Apparently, he had more fans.
Wait a minute. He's not on the 10, is he?
Yeah.
Who's on the 20?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton's on.
Shit.
But yeah, they were going to put a 10, and I already had the joke ready. I go, the reason they're putting a woman on 10 instead of the 20 is to remind them to make half as much as a man. And now they've ruined the joke.
Now what are you going to do?
Way to go, government.
Well,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm in Fullerton, California, sitting in a house I grew up in, but it's been completely scrubbed. It's like it's like there was like someone came in and said, make it appear as if someone may or may not have ever lived here.
Wow. Isn't that weird? Yeah, when you see a house with nothing in it, you go, God, it was so much bigger than I remember.
But then you go, well, yeah, because all of the furniture and everything that was on the sides, along the walls, kind of circling the wagons, all that gone, all that clutter gone. Yeah, you've got nothing but square footage.
It wants to be I mean, you can see where people become minimalist. They're just like, yeah, just a can of tuna on the counter and that's it.
Yeah, like Moby. He's got like a clean, like acrylic desk that you can see through. He's wearing all white. There's a Macintosh laptop and like a cup of coffee. And it's like, don't you make music? Don't you need equipment?
And a Grammy.
Yeah. One Grammy, painted white.
Yeah, painted.
The garage looks as if we took one end of the house and opened the garage, the door leading out to the attached garage, and just everything just like rolled out there. Because that's the estate sale is going to basically take care of all that stuff.
Okay. When is that?
Probably like the 25th. So it's like, because of my schedule, and I got Tracy back at Bisbee working on the merch and stuff, I can actually sit around and do stuff here, but I really don't have anything to do. The house is clear. There's like I said, there's bare minimum of furniture in here. There's no valuables or anything. It's just all, a desk, a printer, beds, and realtors keep coming by, and I have to leave every time a realtor comes by.
So where do you go?
Well, one's coming over right after we're done with the podcast today, so I got to pack up. I mean, I got everything down to a backpack and a roller bag. So I just throw it plus my parents' ashes in the Ford Focus, and I'll head over to Starbucks or something and edit the podcast.
My dad, we're going to the zoo.
You guys like coffee, right? Yeah, it's still a couple of things I have to deal with. My brother's coming in tomorrow, and we've got to figure out a plot for them. Mm-hmm. They're both cremated, but you still got to buy a regular size plot. We're in a gray area in the industry where they don't really know what to do because everything was divvied up in coffin size parcels, and now you have two boxes that like an external hard drive would fit easily in one of these cases, and you have to buy a plot the size of a casket. And that's a good scam. Yeah, it's a great. I mean, sooner or later, you're going to get basically they're going to go, yeah, just pick out your spot, and they're going to hand you a post hole digger, and you're going to go fucking do it yourself. But right now, we're kind of in a gray area. Yeah,
you think they'd come up with a better way, like bury you on a golf course, just hole number 7, drop it in there. Doesn't it seem weird though? A whole plot. I mean, no wonder they say getting old's lonely.
Yeah.
You should see what happens when you're cremated. They put a 6x6 hole.
Yeah, it's weird. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's going to be some. Well, we have to get a different. We have to get a different certificate of dispensation to move the body because it's still a body.
Wait,
even though it's cremains, and that's what the Catholic Church kept calling it, cremains. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Cremains. Oh yeah.
Well, everyone has their own like sensitive word.
Can I get French vanilla?
Yeah. I love that. With a touch of hazelnut. It's really good. Everyone's got their own sensitive word they got their own word to get around a sensitive subject. And I was just calling it mom or the body. The body's kind of a little crude. But the Catholic Church was calling it cremate. The cremains will be brought to the altar and the offering from your sister and her daughter. And I'm like, what? Hold on, back up. What's a cremain?
Yeah.
It sounds like a cronut, you know?
Yeah. Is this like undercoating? Because I'm not paying for undercoating.
I'm not paying extra. Wait, where's the cremains? Yeah, and then they called it, I think the guy at the mortuary called it an urn, or he had a name. He kept using some other name, but I'm like, the urn. Well, the urn's like because I'm not paying for an urn. I said a box because that's what it is. It looks like that material that the old videotapes used to be stored in. You know, like the ones when they used to come in before they came in the sleeves. They came in a case, like a vinyl case. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like, but it's bigger.
Does it look close? Does it look like they might have scratched Back to the Future off the cover? Blockbuster went out. We'll take them.
I got an idea. Let me make a call. No, don't throw those away. Don't throw those away. Can you break off those tabs that keep the videotape from unrolling? Can we break those off?
I'm sure during the crossover it was a weird time when you went, wait, there's a VCR tape in this. Where's Grandma? It's like, oh Jesus, I think I dropped her off at Redbox.
So yeah, you get just a lot of like details.
Yeah, don't you think they should almost have like a little class? They have classes for everything else, but that class just how to deal with, you know.
I think they do. Like you said, they have a class for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the class would be for people in a home. It would be like how to deal with death, or it would be something along the lines of how to make those final arrangements. And those aren't the people that need to do it. They're supposed to the parents or whoever you're making the arrangements for. The surviving people need to make those arrangements, or at least be aware of the arrangements in advance. And that's the rub. None of us are even in state, and we did this back in 2004.
Right.
So.
Huh.
Hey, there's John Norris. Let me add him to the call.
John Norris.
John, you there?
Hello.
Oh, there. I think Becker's there too.
Hello?
Yeah, great.
It's John Norris.
Ugh.
Yay, look at we're all here.
God, we did it.
I actually
John, how's your 420 going?
I mean, I'm pretty high, but I could be higher, I guess.
Okay.
I'm actually not high at all.
I was waiting for the shoe to drop on that.
Probably not going to get high.
I'm actually in California, so it would be relatively easy for me.
I mean, I have marijuana. I could be high if I wanted to, but I just don't generally like being high, so.
The luster's off the pearl. It's legal.
I know. Hey, what's the point?
Actually, it being 420, I did do a little background. Measure 2, which was was on the ballot last year in Anchorage, which is the act to tax and regulate the sale and production and the smoking of your cannabis out there. That actually is going to go into effect February 24th of next year. So you still got some time before you can actually legally grow it and all that stuff.
I know, and we were trying to get Bruce Schulte, our friend / open micer, and also / marijuana proponent to come to the podcast.
Board member.
Yeah, he's on the board.
So he's super busy. Also, I think he maybe thinks we're just gonna like make fun of him for an hour. So he's
no. I want to understand it just from his point of view. That how much work went into this.
That's what I told him. He doesn't think I'm sincere.
Maybe you're the wrong spokesman, John.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll send him a cease and desist letter.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so he'll think we're legal. But yeah, no, it's really a curious process because he's had to just battle with every different age group. It's kind of like getting dancing back in that town in Footloose. I mean, we already had dancing. Yeah. I don't understand why the fight is over.
But even But even the marijuana people are mad at Bruce too, I think, because I've read stuff like there's a lot of negative comments whenever there's an ADN story where he's mentioned. A lot of people are mad at him because they don't think he's doing a good job. Well,
that's also why I wanted to interview him, to give him a chance to air out and go, you don't understand. We got the best of the worst case scenario on some of this because they wanted to basically have your toenail clippings checked at traffic stops. But I got that out of there. And they're like, but you didn't do enough.
It is definitely a real thankless job.
So that's why I wanted to say thank you to him. And I don't know why he'd be boycotting that.
I don't.
Maybe he's hard to work with.
No, he is hard to schedule.
Yeah.
He did give me some marijuana. He gifted me some marijuana that he grew himself, and I smoked it, and I immediately regretted it. So I think that means it's good. I don't know.
That's usually a good sign.
I wanted to take it back immediately. I was too high.
There's no refunds.
Keep blowing out.
Well, I did look up the Fuck It, I Quit girl, Charlotte Green.
Yeah, what's she up to?
Well, her name is Charlene Egby, which I think that any reference to her should be in that because I don't think she doesn't like that name.
Cuckoo, cuckoo, she's the Egby.
Yeah. She just set up. Well, actually, she just reported that she's now a member, or she joined. I don't know what this means because she usually spins things kind of weird. The Minority Cannabis Business Association, and she does little videos there, and this is all on her Facebook, Charlotte Green. But it is interesting that she's kind of flown under the radar lately after getting kicked out of that property she had over on 4th, I think, and saying "fuck it, I quit" on TV. And I was surprised there wasn't something more inflammatory. She's basically just kind of doing little pieces on the process of pot being legal throughout the country.
Didn't she get arrested at the Canadian border? Did we talk about that? Did you just mention that? Did I zone out?
No, but you're right. Yeah, that was a weird story too because they found seeds in the bottom of her purse, but they knew her. The border guys knew her from all of her public appearances, and so they literally came up with a reason. They said you have traces of seeds in your purse.
I know,
so you can't come in Canada.
I'm not a huge fan of Charlotte Green, but that's kind of bullshit.
No, and they said it was. They said we knew who she was, and it's illegal to have seeds. And at the same time, the same week they did this, they were having people from all over the world fly in for a medical conference on the benefits of marijuana. And they said, "You're kidding, right?" And they went, "We just don't like her."
Well, that's funny. I want it to be like a press conference where they're just like, "Yeah, we know it's fucked up. We're the Canadian border. We don't care."
I know, but I think it's a lot like she is America's Justin Bieber to Canada, and they just don't like her.
That's she's no Justin Bieber. He's got some catchy songs. Come on.
Well, no, she's like she's the pot version of Justin Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're catchy, but we don't like the way the message is delivered sometimes.
It's not a perfect analogy, but I can't think of a better one right now.
She's pissing pissing in a mop bucket behind the scenes in a kitchen on the way to the stage. Right? We didn't like that. We didn't like that, but we all watched it.
I feel like that was Justin Bieber's most relatable moment. Like, I get that.
I don't understand why if you use a mop bucket backstage, that's somehow gross.
Yeah, he could have been peed on the floor. He's Justin Bieber.
I know, that's it. I'd just be walking around peeing on staff going, "Come here, I'm paying." Get over here.
Give me an intern.
We were just listening to a podcast where they were talking to they were interviewing the guy who was the lead guitarist in the Stooges, and Iggy Pop was so out of control. And this was back in the early 70s, and Iggy Pop was so out of control. This reporter was talking to this gal who was backstage, and basically Iggy Pop fell out of a closet and started urinating as he walked all the way to the stage and up the steps onto stage. And basically she said, "Yeah, at that point I just realized this probably isn't for me." She was like, she eventually married the guitarist, but I guess Bieber is really just trying to be trying to look to the past to try and make that connection to the grandfathers of punk rock.
That's Bieber is very punk rock, and that is commendable.
It's just the way he did it. It didn't have the panache that and the flair that good old Sir Iggy Pop had.
He doesn't have the abs. He doesn't have the abs to pull that off.
Or the jar of peanut butter.
Or the crippling addiction to heroin.
That too. Yeah, so I got in last night at about 3 a.m. from Bisbee. We took all the stuff from the things I took from my mom's from the estate that I'm taking out to Bisbee. Had to drive them out there with a tow behind U-Haul and then turn around and come back because for some reason U-Haul, they said I couldn't do a one-way rental.
Why?
Isn't that what their fucking business model?
Yeah. So you have to bring it back.
I had to bring it back.
You couldn't one way to Bisbee?
No.
I mean, I can understand Bisbee, but how about Tucson? I mean, you can't tell me people aren't fleeing Tucson in
Sierra Vista. I passed through Sierra Vista. It's in between Tucson and Bisbee. Yeah, there's and I go by there's a lot right down in Bisbee on the way to the supermarket that has trucks with the small cube trucks to the one with the mom's attic on the front. I mean,
or even Phoenix, if we were to be way out of control and say no one's leaving Phoenix. Could
I just drop it somewhere? And it's like, well, there's no one-way rentals, but there is return rentals. Like this, I just want I just need it. I was getting it the next day.
Yeah, you got me on this, but I've never heard of that where you can't just somewhere in a city somewhere closer than taking it all all the way back.
Yeah, then they just charge you a little bit more.
What'd you bring back from Bisbee?
Nothing. That's the thing.
How many
the truck? An empty
how
fucking
many illegals?
Yeah. It was interesting that we went right through the checkpoint and they didn't say a thing. And we had and the odd thing is that they're asking the questions. Brett Erickson said this because it's funny. We have a U-Haul and they asked us the questions that should actually mandate that we get pulled over for secondary. They say, "Where are you coming from?" Bisbee. "Where are you going to?" Los Angeles. That sounds like a drug run. It really,
sounds
or an
shady
illegal
already.
run.
Was Erickson still wearing his white top hat?
I don't know. I think he was so dressed up for an event that we didn't even know we were going to go to that it was hilarious because we went to our friend Lucy St. John's vintage store, consignment store, and there was this white jacket like tails and a vest and a white top hat. It was super cheap, and he goes, "Oh, this is great. I'll do this at the Pikey in L.A. I'll wear this. It'll be fun on stage." And then we get a call, "Hey, we're at the old-timey baseball game." So it actually worked out pretty good. He looked like a mayor or something.
What kind of mayor wears a white top hat?
John, this was a highfalutin event for Bisbee. This is the oldest ballpark in the country, and we had the old-timey teams. We had
Really?
Yeah, we had the Gophers there, and we had the Bisbee. Oh shit! What were they called? Well, there were two Bisbee teams, and they had it's old timey, so no one knew what the fucking rules were. Like someone, there's no like overhand. It's all like kind of underhand pitch and soft lob pitches. The ball is mushy, like a navel orange that's too squishy. It's all pulpy.
So,
and
wait. Is this
they didn't have baseballs in old timey baseball?
They do, but
is this a reenactment of people figuring out how to play baseball?
No, these are teams that get together in different cities throughout the year to basically play baseball, but based on rules of like the 1800s.
So you're allowed to smoke?
No, that's
smoke cigars on second base, drink in the field.
Back before they figured out how to make baseball entertaining.
Yes. Actually,
okay.
I do remember that there used to be a rule that you could get someone out by hitting them with the ball. Like they hit like a little choppy line drive. You field the ball and then throw it at him, hits him in the back. That person's out before they hit the base. Not out cold.
Wow.
But apparently they don't do that because they had some young kids on the team. Maybe that was why. But we kept watching and wondering what the fuck was going on. They had a brass band in the stands. That was really cool. And then
that's cool.
If you catch the ball on the first bounce, it's an out. So really, we didn't see anyone hit third base because unless you hit like a line drive that someone drops, or you hit a blooper that's like up over your head, you can't get to it before that bounce. Because that bounce takes a lot of the pepper off that ball.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was 5-3, but they scored like early on. I think probably when everyone was really fresh.
Wow, I think I would have bunted a lot.
Yeah, because I mean, these guys. I mean, it's not like A-Rod's out there doing some community service and hanging out and throwing some pitches.
What about Jeter? Now that he's retired, does he go around to the Bisbee League and?
We had these weren't even athletes. These were accountants and insurance guys, and then their kids. So I mean, they had the uniforms. Don't get me wrong. There's probably like one or two like athletic dudes on each team, but it wasn't anything like this wasn't going to be on ESPN deep cable anytime soon.
Did they take it serious? Was it like a Civil War reenactment?
Yeah, totally.
Were there people dressed up with?
Oh yeah, they were all dressed up.
I bet if somebody really ate shit at the like field wall or something, they would put it on ESPN.
Yeah,
you gotta get a real blooper.
Hey, John, I don't know if you know how it works in these small towns. There's barely cameras at this thing. No one's taking video.
It's way back. It might be up. He hit the cotton gin.
What am I even talking to? We don't have microphones.
Get
me another cone.
I did think that.
This is just funny to me. I don't know. I want to see this.
It is. It's great. It was fun. But I wish they would have taken it to like further and like had like the food that they were eating back then, or like like whiskey and like just like really weak near beer or something. They were serving this a local craft brew, an IPA that was undrinkable, and
Come on, why didn't they have mead?
Yeah, some mead, some wassail or something. I don't know.
A big barrel of mead and some pickles.
Some warm milk. They'd have a cow out there. They're milking it, right?
Yeah, they milk it right there.
Right
like,
there.
There you go, unpasteurized.
Hey, can I foam that up for you?
I just did a little 3-minute documentary about baseball in Alaska in like the early 1900s. So,
oh wow,
it's not that. I mean, it's not really interesting to talk about. People can go watch it, but it's we should bring that up here. You should bring the Bisbee Flyboys or whatever
I don't know what they just
old timey team is called.
It's the Bisbee Black Sox. It's the Bisbee Black Sox.
The Bisbee Model T mechanics, and
they'd be like, "What's a Model T?"
come to Alaska, do an exhibition.
It was fun, but had we planned, we would have probably dressed up more and brought our own booze. They're famous for at that ballpark, which now doesn't even have the not until the killer termites get together. When the Bisbee Blue was there, they would routinely run out of beer, and the concession stand would be sold out. And it's like, it's one game. How did you not plan enough hot dogs for one fucking game? So I don't know.
Well, next year,
John, we got.
They've only had 100 years to figure it out, Greg.
Yeah, I know. That's it. We used to run out in the 1800s all the time. Get another horse.
Actually, there were more horses back then. That's probably why they didn't run out.
Mm-hmm.
So, John,
Cool.
any other projects you're working on?
What do I got going on? I just finished a video about the Alaska Men magazine.
What's that?
Which is it's basically a magazine full of pictures of dudes, and you send it has like their contact info, and so it would go around and women all over the world would see a guy they liked and send him a letter, and then they would hook up. It was like internet dating before internet, or I don't know, cheap long distance phone calls. I don't really know why it was a thing. But it started in 1986, and it's pretty gloriously late 80s, early 90s Alaska.
I believe this is about the time that Alaska was becoming pretty famous for not having women. I'm doing air quotes, not having women, because there's always been women up there. But in the 80s, I remember they had up at Coots, they had someone from the Today Show came in, and they would walk down the long bar at Coots and ask them like what it's like living in Alaska, and then what was it? It was the odds are good, but the goods are odd, or one of these fucking cliches, and then like how there's no women and stuff. Yeah.
The stat was like 20 guys to every woman in Anchorage, and then like the further you get from Anchorage, like the worse the ratio gets.
Hey, this podcast is sponsored by DougStanUp.com, where his merchandise is available year-round. Buy some goddamn merchandise. He supports us, so you should support him. That's how Ggreg makes money. Now, back to the podcast, already in progress.
So I remember what that saying was. It was the odds are your odds are good, but the goods are odd. That was the one that they said on Good Morning America, and that's the first time I heard it. And then I've heard it a billion times since then. And I think that was in the 90s, early 90s when I heard that. Does
that even make sense? Because aren't the odds bad?
I think it was for women. For
Yeah, it was
women,
Flip
for
was
women.
saying
yeah.
that the guys are all so strange that you wouldn't date them.
Or there's
Gotcha.
but there's so many of them that the odds are good that you're gonna. I mean, but women hold the keys anyway, right? To the kingdom.
I always heard the saying, it's like sucking dicks in a barrel.
How
Is
far out?
is that the saying?
What bar were you hanging out in?
The odd ones. Yeah. So anyway, so that was fun. I just cut that together yesterday, and it's on YouTube.
All right. Is this something you want me to put a link to? Because you said it wasn't even worth talking about, but they did send a film crew out there, so I'm confused.
I guess we could put I don't know. Yeah, we can put a link up, I guess.
No, I think you do really amazing work. You really do. So you should just have a John Norris link, and then people can sit and enjoy your work.
Yeah, and if people like it, you can donate to Public Television in Alaska. Help me keep my job.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And keep the negative comments to yourself. We don't need that shit.
Unless they're really funny, then I like them.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one thing, John. Before, remember what you're going to say. We'll circle back to it. But I do want to ask anyone if they had a moment to head over to the USA Today 10 Best poll. Bisbee started out before the weekend at number 18 of 20 in their poll for the best small historic town. And over the weekend, and then after we published a podcast for Doug Stanhope on Monday, Bisbee's number one, and we're trying to hold it at number one.
Yeah, and that's it with 3 days left, right?
You can vote until Sunday evening, and then it'll be Monday USA Today. It'll be published, or it should be.
Or is it every 4 hours you can vote?
It's every
How many times can I vote, Greg?
You can vote every 24 hours. At first, it was like every 4 hours, but I would suggest doing it on a desktop or a laptop computer. The phone, it's a little clunkier, and you don't get to read about Bisbee.
Well, the thing is, I did it last night. I was doing it. It was every 4 hours. They were still letting me do it.
See, it's so weird. I don't know how they do that. They might do it
maybe it's select cities,
or it might be that they're noticing that certain people or certain areas are voting a lot, and maybe they cut it back a little bit. I don't know, but I assume this is probably similar to the way they do the thing in Anchorage that the press.
So I just voted.
Press picks.
I just voted, and it says you can cast a vote in each category every day. You can vote again for Best Historic Small Town in 7 hours and 24 minutes.
Oh, you're 7? See, I was 4 last night. So
That's so weird. Why? I don't get it.
Well, I think they should just Ted Cruz it and go, we're not even going to vote. We're just giving it to Bisbee.
Well,
Give it to Bisbee.
that Thomasville, Georgia was like just stuck at number one for so long, and we brought in the Killer Termites with Stanhope, and we really thought we'd see that bump down, but it just took a little while, and then we're just trying to get everyone to keep voting. And
yeah, that's a key. Right now is when you really want to do it. And I was saying if you could got everybody organized just to do it Saturday on, but what if they put a 24-hour time limit? It'd kill you.
Yeah. So that's why we want to keep accruing more up until the cutoff time. It's kind of I know, I understand what you're saying, Becker. It's kind of like eBay. You want to start hammering your bids right when the sale starts. You want to sneak it in there.
Thomasville, Georgia is sitting by their computer sweating right now.
They're waiting.
Just wringing their hands.
But like I said, when you're putting different, I was 4 hours last night. You're 7 now, John. You guys are 24.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is starting to seem like a rigged election. I mean, are there posted rules anywhere on this?
Oh, Craig, the USA Today said I'm an independent voter, so I can't vote in this one. This doesn't seem fair.
But John, I think we nominated you as a superdelegate. So you'll vote at the end. They'll go to you at the end.
We're 100 people's votes. This is great. I can tell democracy is alive at usatoday.com because I can also vote for the best Italian beef in Illinois.
I know. It's almost like Yelp. I've never been there, but yeah, I like it.
I'm just voting randomly.
Some poor guy's pizza gets dogged because of his name.
I'm very passionate about the best lobster rolls in Maine, so this is perfect.
I know. It's starting to look like the magazine of lists.
I want to see the how many people are voting for the best po' boy in Louisiana versus president.
I wonder how many people have internet in Louisiana.
The turnout in Louisiana is 80% for voting for the best po' boy. but only
Oh,
12% vote in the election.
Yeah, but
I
they
mean-
won't do the they won't do the census because they want too much personal information.
I mean, the best po' boy in Louisiana, that has real power, Greg. That can do some real like good work in Louisiana. But the president, I don't think so.
Yeah, but watch, we live in such a weird time that it's a big corporation using these numbers to crunch, and they're like, Louisiana has heart problems, cancel their insurance. Bisbee, raise their property taxes.
Bisbee is going to become so like hot property that we're going to fuck ourselves when it comes to the taxes and real estate rates.
Gentrification.
Buy, sell, take your votes back.
Well, when that happens, then, you sell all the property you have in Bisbee and you move to Thomasville, Georgia, or whatever shithole comes in last.
Yeah, that you drove in the ground by your voting.
And then you start campaigning for your new home.
I guess that's a way to pick it, right?
Yeah.
Go look at real estate in what was it? Asheville, Oregon or something? I don't know. We were drinking one night on Saturday night. We were drinking after we podcasted, and we were doing periscopes, basically drunker and drunker as we were doing a new periscope every time we overtook another city, and it got pretty ugly. And then we just couldn't. We're not going to bed. We're gonna keep drinking till we're number one. And then it was like 30 minutes later. It was like, all right, I'm done. It's time to go.
We've only got 11 more days.
That's it. They ain't moving.
No, Sitka, Alaska's on this list. I didn't even look at the list. I just voted for Bisbee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Deadwood, Astoria, Oregon. That's where they filmed the Goonies.
Oh yeah.
That's some stiff competition.
Well, see, that's why I got you to vote before you actually looked at the list, John.
Yeah, I should have done my research.
And you want to be a super delegate.
Ugh.
Hey, I saw that the China wants to go through the little melted Arctic, the Arctic Pass. That's
The what?
now melted.
The Northwest Passage.
Yeah, they want to start using it right away, they said, for shipping.
Oh.
And I think the country that contributed most to global warming should benefit from it.
Yeah.
They really are responsible for cutting that swath.
I mean,
They've done the work.
They had coal burning cars for like the last 20 years.
That acid rain's not coming from nowhere.
Where are they going through this passage? Are they?
I guess it takes you. I had a globe once. I looked at it to understand what they meant, but I guess it takes you right to Europe instead of having to go all the way around the continent.
What?
But couldn't they don't they have
Yeah, you go straight across.
But wait, I'm looking at a map.
Go from Russia straight behind Canada, and you're right.
Aren't there
goes-
railroads? Aren't there railroads that could go from China to Europe?
Yeah, there are.
No. Well-
Yeah, you would be going west instead of going east. But I think, John, that would be through a bunch of different countries. You get that sticky area near the Middle East.
Oh, I guess they'd have to go through Russia, and I guess if they want to avoid that.
Russians don't want to go through Russia.
Yeah, none of your shit will get to the other end.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they're finally. It looks like it might be open, and they're willing to do it. They're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I think if you go through that passage, you're talking about the ice bridge, right, or the land bridge between Russia and Alaska, right?
Yeah, they're saying that the ice is opening up behind all of Canada, so you just go right past. But it freezes every year too.
Yeah.
So they said if you don't make it, it's like that Shackleton.
Yeah.
You're frozen in the water.
Yeah.
So you're just going to sit there with all these like IKEA products on this boat going, all right, well, we put another end table together.
Hey, break up another Billy bookcase. We're
You
going to cook
can't
some
tell
more
me there's
seals.
No food. There's no food on this cargo barge.
Just press board,
They're driving on the deck in brand new Jeeps. Whee!
but nowhere to go.
Nope, just stuck.
All these vehicles is
And
not
that,
a
my
road.
friend, is Bisbee, Arizona. Okay.
Well, I will look at that. I didn't know that there was some kind of a weird passage. I always thought it just went up to the North Pole.
I know,
Well,
because you're
it's
one
an
of those
old
flat
sailor
earthers.
secret.
You're one of those flat earthers, Daniel.
Yeah.
In Alaska news, we had a University of Alaska Southeast professor of Forrest Wagner, 35, is healing in the Anchorage hospital after suffering a brown bear attack.
Yeah, I saw that.
During a class outing in which he teaches wildlife survival.
See, that's a good professor. He uses himself in his examples. I
mean,
like that.
That's it. Kids, watch this.
Yeah,
yeah.
Didn't it take? I read something like it took like 25 hours for him to get to a hospital or something.
No, it took 4. But I mean, this is the thing: is that they were out in this wilderness training, right, and with the university, and he was attacked. But no, everyone's kind of spread out. So I'm reading this, going like, what do they have, like a scavenger hunt, or everyone let's look for edibles? We'll do this thing. So no one actually saw the attack except the guy who got attacked, and he's not talking. And then one of the students had to hike out of the area just to get cell reception. And then they called someone with a helicopter who brought it in, and then that helicopter transported him to another area where he could get the medical helicopter. So it was about 4 hours before he ever even got reached by troopers.
Huh. That's pretty. I guess that's pretty quick from being out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah, the person had to run out to a certain area. Who knows how far they had to go to get the reception. And then what the fuck? How much wilderness is it? If you've got cell reception, you kind of isn't that kind of not wilderness?
No, that's it anymore. It's like if you're doing selfies, I go, no, you're not really.
Why would you even go hiking in a place with no cell reception? I don't. What's the point? What do you? If you didn't Snapchat it, like how do people even know you hiked?
Yeah, how are you gonna get credit for doing anything or being out of your house? Yeah, 2 cubs and a sow were spotted later, and that's what they think happened.
Well, it turns out there's probably a lot more because it's the wilderness. You know what?
That's
though?
where all the bears are. That's where they keep them.
This guy had a long history of training and teaching and outdoor stuff, and I mean, he's like an authority on it. But he also didn't acknowledge global warming. I mean, they said the bears are waking up a lot earlier, and they had 2 incidents in which joggers were chased this weekend. And it's kind of spring-like already, and it's normally not spring-like right now. Late May is when you get the weather we're having right now.
Shit, this mother was out with 2 cubs. Yeah, it's early spring.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to be awake yet.
Yeah.
Well, you know the old saying: the early bear gets the outdoor instructor.
Actually, that's also a term in Alaska.
I think he's gonna be all right though, because he had leg injuries. When it gets gnarly, it's when they get you
Bite your head
in the face, or they swipe off Revenant style, swipe off your scalp or something. So
we watched that movie, that Revenant or whatever, and that bear attack really did stick with you. You didn't it? Did you? I mean,
I
you saw it.
it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Wait
No.
till you see it. It'll stick with you, especially Ggreg living in Alaska. You're like, I am never leaving the blacktop again.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's like what Jaws did for swimming around the pier.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it goes on, and you're like, oh, thank God. And then it's like, nope, still going.
Wow.
Did you like the movie?
I did. I thought it was a really good, for what it was. It pulled me in.
I felt depressed the whole time.
Did you watch it on your phone, John? Because you've watched it on a bigger screen.
No, I watched it on, it seemed like the biggest screen in the world, because I went like the first weekend and I had to sit in like the second row.
So
okay.
John was bummed out because he knew he was going to have to walk home late at night from the movie theater.
Through the woods.
And he was scared.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you could stop watching after the bear attack.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone say anything else. So I only think it's a bear attack. Is it a 2.5 hour bear attack?
Yeah. No,
it could be. That would be cooler.
No, I mean, it was Brokeback Mountain. I mean, never remembers a bear attack. Nobody remembers who was on top.
Oh, they just remembered it was Grizzly.
Actually, it's a love story. It starts off, they don't like each other. The bear mauls Leo, but then by the end, they can't live without each other.
Yeah.
They're picking out IKEA furniture.
So my other thing in another movie related news, this guy I knew in high school, Martin Sensmeyer. Last time I saw him was a couple of years ago. I ran into him at like Barnes and Noble, and he was telling me how he was, trying to get in movies, and he'd been doing some modeling down in California. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Good fucking luck with that, buddy. And then now the next time I saw him, it was in the trailer for the new Denzel Washington Magnificent Seven remake. So he is one of the 7 in the new Magnificent Seven.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think
Schadenfreude.
Did he do this just to spite you?
I guess so. Good for him. So now I'm like, well, I guess I'm a failure officially.
You're not. He's just a winner, John.
True.
You're a non-winner,
You're good.
John.
He's magnificent.
You're a non-winner.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It looks like a really cool movie, and he looks pretty badass in it. I mean, what makes me feel a little bit better is he only gets like 2 seconds of screen time in the trailer. So,
yeah, which is crazy when you think he was a nobody.
So now my new mission is to get at least 10 seconds of screen time in a new Denzel Washington movie trailer.
Even if you just jump up in front of the screen at a theater.
Exactly. That'll work.
Just give me my 10 seconds.
Yeah. That's good though. I like it when people succeed. That's a good one. Oh, you know who's in town too? I went so I go to pick up John Toll at the airport.
Comedian John Toll in town at Coots this weekend.
And you know me, I don't own a cell phone, so I don't need one. I'll just be at the airport. I'll pick you up. So I told Nikki in her office, I said, don't worry, I got John Toll. I'll go grab him at the airport. And I realized I never told John Toll I was picking him up. So John Toll got in, called the bar, and goes, hey, I'm here. And I go, oh, fuck. So he hopped in a cab, went to the bar. I waited until, like, you know how you wait for somebody at the airport?
Yeah.
And you have no way to communicate?
No, I don't know. I don't know what that's like. That's uniquely you, Becker.
No, but you know what I
nobody
figured out?
remembers that.
No, but you know what I figured out? The airport has free Wi-Fi. So I walked on my iPad.
Oh.
Said, are you here? And he said, yeah, I'm at the bar. And I went, fuck. So, but before I got a hold of him, I realized everyone who flew in from Dead Horse, Alaska, the plane flew in, and they were at the baggage carousel, they all looked like John Toll. No, every one of them. I was like, oh, nope. Well, we brought fishing gear. Nope. And
guns.
It was amazing. I wish I'd have filmed that part because that was really funny. It was like, come find John Toll. It's like, where's Waldo? So anyway, I met him at the bar and we closed the place down and he's going to be doing shows all week and he's hysterically funny. He's still very, very goddamn funny.
Yeah, he just texted me the other day, unrelated. He just said, hey, I was buying some merch and this company sent me what I thought was my merch that I bought from him. And it was a bunch of lanyards for Bisbee High School class of 2016. And I'm like, what? And he sent me a picture. I'm like, I'll take them. Because, I mean, I do live in Bisbee.
You're the only one who could sell them.
Yeah. That's hysterical.
It's so fucking random.
Have Kenny give them out at the graduation for votes.
Yeah, we'll do something with them. I'm in the process. We're getting some really good posters for Kenny for mayor. John, do you know about this?
I don't. Tell me about it.
We've got 2 stoners that Doug has convinced to like burnout stoners to set up some kind of a campaign and run for mayor. And they need to get 120 signatures and they need to fill out some paperwork. So far, we think they filled out the paperwork, and each of them, between the 2 of them, they don't even have 10 signatures yet. and everything that's being done is being done for them to the point that we don't even want them to talk. That we would rather someone else say, well, they ask Kenny a question, and someone says, what Kenny thinks is. Like, anyone can field the question better than Kenny.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
They go to speak, and every time you go, oh, actually, I got this.
I got this. You just did it. And I'm getting some really good posters and bumper stickers that listeners to the podcast are sending me. So I'm getting those printed out, and then we're going to put the posters in the storefront that we have for the merchandise downtown, and just start. And then any of those community boards, where you put about your garage sale or yoga classes or whatever. Yeah, we're going to start plastering those, and people are starting to kind of resent that 2 people like Kenny and Derek are actually doing this. And isn't it like the old people to really get down on the young people for trying to take an interest in government?
Really?
Disenfranchising them.
Yep.
So you should get involved, but don't get involved if you're Kenny or Derek.
Or not if you don't do exactly what I want you to do.
Well, you know what? They didn't make Bisbee #1, did they?
Hey, actually, I'll tell you, you're right. But I'll tell you what, those guys aren't getting involved. They just put their name on a piece of paper. It's everyone else that's getting involved and doing it. And we're gonna take this all the way to the end.
How many people are in the running for mayor of Bisbee?
There's 7, I think. It's like a Republican.
And who do you think will win?
I don't even know who else is on it, and it really doesn't matter. I think it's just funny that they're going to get visibility based on the fact that we're kind of fucking around with this.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they don't
think
take
you
it
guys. I don't think you're fucking around. I think you're experimenting with democracy.
Sure. I don't
It's
mean
beautiful.
fucking around because we really are we are putting together a platform with that we think is sensible enough, but still kind of funny. But it isn't something. I mean, we're not trying to do anything radical, Black Panther style or anything.
It sounds like political alchemy, and you're going to make poison. Hasn't Bisbee been through enough?
Well,
After that crushing loss to Sitka, Alaska in the USA Today poll.
well,
At the last minute, the last hour, you lost eBay.
you can't tip the end of the vote now, guys. I mean, it might seem rigged all of a sudden. Well, Doug did make a good point. He was at the city council yesterday, and they cut him off because they said he went long. It's not like Doug to burn the light, but it was one of those things where he had a really good point. He said, he enlisted his listeners, the Killer Termites, to help a GoFundMe campaign to get the toilets redone at the ballpark, and they did. I mean, that's one thing. That was the only thing that was new at the old-timey baseball game was the facilities. I had no idea that got done. And then now...
No, that's really cool. That's good, though. But it's stuff like that and the Killer Termites can go to Bisbee and see their work.
Yeah, we're trying to get them... See, that's one of the things we can have the new mayor do is get a Killer Termite Day or get a plaque put up or something,
Make your own. Just historical plaques. Just put them all over Bisbee. Brought to you by the Killer Termites.
That's great.
Waste removal.
All right, let's wrap up so I can get out of here and show this house.
You got it.
I just have to vacate. I have to get the fuck out of here is what it is.
Yeah, he has to get out of his house.
Get
that
out
he
of your
grew up in.
house.
How many times have you been kicked out of this house, Greg?
Well, not as many as I thought after my mom would be passed away.
Your mom thought it was a phase you were going through. Oh, he'll be back. All he had was a backpack and a bag.
Oh, that's what I'm walking out of the house with right now. It's a backpack and a bag.
He's just like his brother. They're twins.
Actually, he'll be here tomorrow, and we'll both get kicked out if someone comes by to look at the house.
That'll be good. You've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. Thank you for listening. I'm Matt Becker, sitting on a bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm John Norris, dreaming of buses in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Ggreg Chaille in Fullerton, California, with a lonely backpack slung over my shoulder as I'm forced to leave my house once again by a total stranger.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Ggreg Chaille.
I've never had that happen before.
Sure. That's what they all say.
It happens all guys.
Really? I'm sure you've had it happen yourself.
You usually don't do it to other guys standing there.
No, the card filled up, and I thought maybe it would dump because we don't want to lose any of that.
No. Not in these days of high gold prices.
Yeah.